Hey there, welcome to another episode of Kyusho Korner. I'm Sensei Mish, and in today's episode, we're going to cover Asthma Revival. And the point, well, we don't go over specific points. There is one that we mentioned, but basically we go over the revival. If you're a serious asthmatic, this may not help, especially if you're older, been taking medication for a long time. But if you're one of those who or if you deal with people who get sports-induced asthma or exercise-induced asthma, this is a helpful remedy. Just ask my kids. So why don't we talk about it? So our Asthma Revival, it's not... I would say it's not necessarily specifically an asthma revival. I've worked with a couple people over the years who've had serious asthma. This has been a temporary relief, of course, and then of course they take their own medicine. But then again, if you look at, if they've been taking medicine for years and years and years, then maybe their body is used to that, and it would just have to be a constant switch from medicine to this. But I'm not a medical doctor, so that's only just spewing my own theory. There have been reports, Grandmaster Pentazzi has said that with the Asthma Revival, when he ran a school of his own, he would use this on the kids, and some of the kids who were using inhalers actually stopped needing inhalers. So that's something he said. You want to believe it, don't. But that's just that, so in my thinking, if we get into the theory of it, is that if you start somebody young using an Asthma Revival, then maybe you can actually wean them off the medication earlier. But if you've been taking it your entire life, it's especially as an adult, it's going to be a little bit it's going to be harder to kick that meds habit. 2 of my 3 kids have exercise-induced asthma. So one of them actually uses an inhaler sometimes. The other, she really hasn't needed to do that. Using this revival on them has actually been beneficial. So if my son comes back from a run, or my daughter's done something, volleyball, martial arts, whatever, and she kind of feels that tightness in her chest, shallow breathing, then I'll use this revival on them, and it does give that, it does kind of open up their bronchial tubes and allows them to breathe easier, deeper, that kind of stuff. So even though this may not cure asthma, it is that, if that person's having a little bit of hard time breathing, maybe just a little tightness of the chest, you can open that up, especially when it comes to exercise-induced asthma. Now, getting into the technique itself, if we look on the back, we have, of course, we have our spine, we have our bladder meridian. Now, we're not specifically using any particular bladder point, because when the chest constricts for breathing, you're going to have a tightening of these muscles along here. Now, bladder 13 is in this area, and bladder 13, which lies right on the tip of T3, left and right. But when you do this, you always want to use the left side. It's right there on T3. It is in that line, but we're not specifically just striking on bladder 13. We're kind of just going down the line. We're gonna take these muscles that are tight and just kind of loosen them up. Now, there have been, when somebody does have that, not necessarily an asthma attack, but that tightening of the chest, Evan Pentazzi has talked about it. I've actually seen it myself with my kids, where this side, these muscles will be tight, where these on this side will not be tight. So it's basically just a relaxing of these muscles, and then and for some reason, it just allows them to start breathing easier. So I'll come in my right hand on the left side, and where you have the spine and the shoulder right here, I just start coming in. Now if it's still, if it's really, really tight, it's going to be that strong striking. And then getting in there and just kind of loosening and massaging and making sure that those muscles are loose and a little bit more relaxed. Now, I don't know if that helped at all, Thomas. We hadn't really been hitting on any points. So, when this video, actually we could tighten up the chest a little bit. Okay. So, let's see. We'll just go. All right. All right. So, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it causes a big tightening in the breath. It takes the chest. When he struck up here, it took the breath away. It made it so I wanted to cough, trying to get my breath back. And once you start straightening on the bladder line, it caused everything to start opening up, my chest to expand, and became easier to breathe.
Yeah. So our asthma revival, or our tight chest, I guess you could say. Anyway, take this back to your dojo, play, have fun, always be good to your uke. I'll see you on the next video. Well, folks, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any comments or questions, please put that in the comment section below. Also, like and share this video as much as possible. That really helps us get our name out there. And if you're not already subscribing or following us on Facebook or YouTube, please do so now.